regarding keeping a majority. You are speaking to a room full of conservatives who are unhappy with what's going on in Washington, D.C., especially as it concerns the executive branch. We also know that conservative laws and budgets cannot be passed without a majority in the House. If elected, what plans, efforts, or ideas would you have to ensure a Republican majority in the House? You'll have 2 minutes to answer that.
Well, I think you're right. We have to maintain that majority in the House, and I believe that in this 24 election, I think that we will regain the Senate as well. And I'm also fairly confident that our president will be Donald Trump again, which I'm looking forward to being able to work with him in getting this conservative legislation passed. One of the things I would like to do once I get there is join the House Freedom Caucus and some of those true conservative fighters that are fighting for those conservative issues every day. I want to join them. If you are looking for a quiet professional to go to Washington, D.C., I am not your guy. I'm going to go up there, I will rock the boat, and I will pull back curtains that we didn't even know existed. One of the things that I don't like about being a constituent is that, or at least in this district, is anytime I want to know what's going on, I have to go to somebody else's social media page, not my own representatives. I'm going to Matt Gates or MTG's social media to see what happened that day, and I want to hear from my own representative, and I don't get that. So there's a lot of things that are going to change once I get to Washington, D.C.
Okay. Our next question, which will be a 2-minute answer, is regarding the national debt. We can no longer even imagine the number that is the U.S. debt. I believe that number is $17.2 trillion. If elected, what are your plans for addressing the U.S. deficit? 2 minutes.
One of the main things that I think we can do to lower our spending is to get rid of a lot of these administrative state departments that a long time ago in the 1940s, Congress gave away their power of legislation to the administrative departments by the Administrative Procedures Act. And I would like to see what we could do about getting rid of a lot of these Department of Education, the FBI. There's a lot. I don't think the FBI is necessary. Every state has its own law enforcement, so I don't know why we need a national one. I think that if you do decide to keep some of these departments, they need to go from 100% what they are now to about 10% of what they are now. And I think some of them serve a purpose, but I don't think that we need to have them on the scale that they are now. I think that the reach and the hands of government have gotten way too big, and we need to get back to the true intentions of our founding fathers, which was a limited government. I think that when they were having all of these debates and trying to pass this Constitution that we have from the Articles of Confederation, I don't think that it would have passed if they would have known where it would have gotten us today. I don't think those founding fathers would agree with what's happening today, and I think that Congress needs to take their power back from these administrative states. And just by doing that, you're going to shrink the budget a whole lot, and that money could be used to do things like secure our southern border and a lot of other issues, veteran homelessness. There's a lot of issues that can be solved with that money that we're spending to make sure some woodpecker in Idaho is doing okay, right? I think that money could be used elsewhere, and so it's just fiscally responsible spending, right? We do it at our own house every month, right? At least I do. I'm not a rich guy. I'm a middle class high school teacher. My wife's a teacher also, so we have to scrape by just like everybody else does. And so when I go to Washington, D.C., I actually know how these things affect us and impact us on a daily basis because I'm going through it as well, not just you guys.